So tell me about being on The Voice.
It was fun. I did it back in November.
Uh-huh.
You know, they film so far.
Right.
Shakira's not in town that much, so you gotta like film when she's there. But it was cool because I'm like doing it with her. You know, I'm her advisor or whatever,
Right.
and everybody's like, I can't believe you're doing it for her team. I'm like, hey, she asked me. I'm like, hell yeah, it's cool.
How did that first come about, that first conversation? Did Blake ask you if you would do it or whatever? Did they contact you and then you told him, hey, guess what I'm doing?
Well, actually, I guess Blake and Shakira had talked about it at some point.
Uh-huh.
Blake's like, well, just ask her. And so they did. She called, or, whoever, my manager's like, hey, Shakira's people are called and want you to be her advisor. And I'm like, and Blake had mentioned it to me. He was like, would you do that? And I'm like, well, do you care? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, hell yeah. And then, but it's funny. I mean, he thinks it's cool. And, I always tease him anyway because he, like, every time he sings with Shakira or, like, where he's, like, around her, he starts sweating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, watch him on The Voice. If he does, like, a duet with her or whatever, he's sweating. And I'm like, now you got me and Shakira. You better sweat when I'm around now because he's sweating around her. But it was fun. She's so feisty and cool. And, she's just a cool hang, too. So
She seems like it. Had you spent much time with her before
no,
that?
I hadn't at all. And so that whole day or 2 days of just being around her, just respect her as a, artist and businesswoman. And she says really smart things. She doesn't know. I mean, her English is so scattered, but when she says stuff, she says such big words. I'm like, I don't even know that word in English. Like, what are you talking about? But it was fun.
It makes it fun.